leadership is not about the next election, it is about the next generation. A politician thinks of the next election, a statesman thinks of the next generation. 2019 is going to see another major event of crucial importance. In the 70-odd years since India's independence, this will likely to be the first election that seriously challenges the country's inclusive political culture. This election also sees the uprising of regional parties, alliances being formed and broken. Opposition parties will have to make compromises to build a cohesive front. It is clear that everyone will be put to test. As India is on its way to the 2019 general elections, let us get an insight into the lecturers and students of Bhavan's Vivekananda College.
What is your take on the 2019 elections?
See, so far 2019 election is concerned, it's very difficult to predict because two opposition parties are now rising. One is Indian National Congress, second one is Bahujan Samajwadi Party. So far the formation of government is concerned, in a parliamentary system, there is a chance of one hung parliament. So in a parliamentary system, the performance depends on the majority support, whether a prime minister is getting or not getting it.
Earlier it looked like maybe the BJP will win, but right now the press is presenting something else. Though I must say that I don't believe the press. They are very one-sided and biased. So it's hard for me to know. But in 2014 I felt that surely BJP will win.
2019 elections are going to be very crucial. Mostly the problem is we have a very strong NDA government, strong in terms of verdict in 2014, and over a period of time definitely some of the actions taken by the NDA government are questioned by the people, and now there is an opposition which is pulling up in the form of regional parties coming together or federal front coming together. Definitely it is going to be a contest, a very strong contest between the federal front or regional parties put together with NDA government.
I think our Prime Minister will retain the widespread support in the country. So it's definitely not going to be one side.
My opinion on general election 2019, I believe it should be tough, I think so. Tough for Narendra Modi to come again. Congress party or other whatever coalition government or opposition party is going to give good fight for the general election. That is my opinion because this is on the basis of the state elections which happened and which was won by Congress. So I feel that they are going to give a good fight to the NDA government to come back again.
Are you satisfied with the present NDA government? Can we say that Amit Shah is de facto PM?
So far, de facto and de jure Prime Minister is concerned. As a lecturer in political science, we can say that Prime Minister is not a de facto here. He is functioning with real power. For the first time, it seems that because we are having a new experience under this government, because we have been ruled by a particular party, that's why it maybe seems a different angle. We are seeing that maybe in a different way it is functioning. But because the party is having a majority support and Prime Minister is very much active here, we cannot deny that area. Of course, we can analyze the performance of the government, whether the really government performed it or not performed it. Sometimes Prime Minister's personality is very important in performance. Sometimes the circumstance in the country also makes him effective or ineffective. So we cannot say that this government is completely failed, or we cannot say that 100% success we achieved in a very short span of time. It is very difficult to analyze in this way, rejecting a government or saying that 100% successful the government. Because to achieve something, definitely a long-term program is required and the government should get sufficient time for the performance.
I am really happy with the present government. They have gone beyond our expectations.
Partly yes and partly no. Satisfied to the extent of, maybe to the extent of eradication of corruption, I am happy. But at the same time, some actions, especially demonetization, etc., maybe it should have been planned better. And not only that, the outcomes of demonetization are not known to public, because with such a massive country which involves thousands, crores of people, we can't inconvenience the people and the outcome should be very strong and that should have been planned. But otherwise, GST and other schemes implemented by the government, I am very happy with that.
What is your opinion on the Congress party and its working president Rahul Gandhi?
If in a democratic country, if party is there, there would be party leader. And so far Indian National Congress is concerned, there is no doubt it produced many leaders like Nehru or Srimati Indira Gandhi or even P.V. Narasimha Rao also. But we cannot deny that Rahul Gandhi is effective or not effective. We cannot say like this. But why this party is electing a particular leader from a particular family, that is debatable. We cannot say that this person is not good. But the perception comes to mind of the citizens because there was no election, proper election in the party itself. That's why we are asking this question, that Rahul Gandhi is effective or not effective. Because there should be some democracy within the party itself. As it happens in US, in the Republic Party there would be elections for the party candidate itself before election of the president. It should be followed in every party, and it could have followed in Congress itself also. There are so many other leaders also there, right? So we cannot say personally a person is effective or not effective unless we are not having experience about him. He is just now a leader only, opposition party leader. He is not performing anything. We cannot say, because previously we were considering, when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi came to power, we were considering he was not having experience in politics. But he has taken so many decisions. Those are milestones in Indian politics also.
I am very upset by the numerous scams that they have made, and they have not apologized. They don't seem to be in any way regretting that. And recently 3 new Congress governments have come in the state of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka some time ago, and I keep reading about the scams which have already started. For example, they have waived off farm loans, 120 crores or something, to farmers who don't even exist. This is their modus operandi, that they will take the money and they will just, put it in their pockets. Coming to your question, Congress party, I think, is in a scam mode. The present party president, he has no experience. He has no even feeling that he should have experience. He feels he has been born to rule, and of course he surrounded himself with sycophants who are playing into this, as if he's given to us by some god so that he can rule over India. Also, he lies so much. He has no concern for truth. Recently in the Rafale deal, I see that he doesn't know, or he doesn't want to know the facts, and he keeps talking absolute nonsense and lies. I really have no respect for that.
What's your take on KCR's federal front? Will he be a role model for Indian politics, or is he just seeking attention?
This is relating to the Indian federalism. You are asking whether the Chief Minister of Telangana state is functioning towards competitive federalism or cooperative federalism. That is exactly the question what you are asking. Competitive federalism, under competitive federalism, generally the Prime Minister is competing with the central government. Now, so far Indian federalism is concerned now, it is cooperative federalism, because the state, they don't have maximum source of income. Whoever it may be, Chief Minister, they have to cooperate the central government. So KCR as a Chief Minister, not as a person, he should join with the central government. And I am personally, if you are asking, I am sure that this person is having ability to join with the central government. His experience in the 4 years, he understood that what is the quantity of granting aid received by the Telangana state in comparison to other states. I am sure this will a learning lesson for him, and he is going to join with the central government. Because in India, the state cannot develop without cooperation to the central government. The state fund is only we are using for payment of the salaries and some minor developments only, not the major developments. Major developments we can achieve by taking assistance from the central government. Obviously, he is one of the prominent leader, even because so far formation of the Telangana state is concerned, he played also important role, that we cannot deny it. And naturally, people believing in him because he is responsible, one of the main cause for the creation or formation of the Telangana state, for the bifurcation of the Andhra Pradesh. So naturally he is getting some benefits there, support from the people. So naturally he is a popular leader there in Telangana state in comparison to other leaders. If you think of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee came to power because of some promises. Because already KCR has already delivered the work, naturally he is more popular leader in Telangana state. He may be also a role model, as Mr. Modi became Prime Minister because of his Chief Ministership in Gujarat. So question of third front is concerned in India. Basic party are two, Indian National Congress and now Bharatiya Janata Party. So third front, so far third front is concerned, in India it is not a stable one. My personal feeling it is that the Chief Minister KCR may not attempt for third front. He may join with the government, whatever may be the government, it may be formed by the Indian National Congress or by the Bharatiya Janata Party. It is predictable that he is going to join with them. He is not going to create any such a third front.
The idea is good to have a third or fourth or fifth party so that we have choice. We are not stuck between just two parties, like in the US they have Democrats and Republicans, nobody else. But the party should be a real party. It's not a some kind of what they call Chunavi Mendak. That is when it is election season, suddenly some people will come together and say we are partners, because that they have not worked together and they have regional loyalties, they have regional agendas, they don't have a national outlook. Also in the end, we have seen this when Vivekananda was the Prime Minister. He was put up as some kind of a substitute candidate, and he didn't have nothing that I can remember which he achieved on the national front. He was very busy for his own regional party, and now we have some other party like BSP and that Samajwadi coming, SP, BSP coming together in UP. It is not going to work. They are just in one state, and they have their own, they are just trying to get their votes, Dalit vote or Yadav vote or something like that. So I am for the idea of a party, but I don't see any good party coming up which is really a solid national party. These are just parties of coalitions of convenience which are not going to work. Work in the sense for the good of the country. They will just somehow do something for their own regional good. No, he's trying good. Maybe his intention is good. He wants to play a bigger role, and why not? People should get involved in politics. But see, who is he choosing as his partners? Where is the national presence? And trying to get some regional leader to join is not going to work. Making a party it was very hard work. You need booths in at least every state. You need a big cadre. It's not easy to build a party. And so instantly, if you want one leading role, it's not going to work.
Now, statistics say that GDP is drastically decreased after implementation of GST and demonetization. Do you think these will be helpful for the development of India?
First, let us talk about the after effects of implementation of demonetization GST. Definitely, anything new is coming up in a country, it will take some time. People have to accustom to the new systems of taxation, that is your GST, and also eradication of black money. Demonetization was a step taken by the government. But as per the statistics goes, GST is one of the key reforms that have helped in scaling 43 places in global ranking in the ease of doing business by India. And with the necessary amendments made by the GST Council, it will definitely facilitate a new era of economic growth. And currently, the growth rate of India is approximately 7.3%, which is expected to increase to 7.4 or 7.5% in the next 2 years. So hence I consider Indian economy is still the fastest growing economy. Even though they both have slowed down the economic growth, demonetization was one of the prominent steps taken by the government to eradicate black money from Indian economy. This will definitely help in building a tax compliant society. So hence I am in favor of demonetization as well as implementation of GST in India.
Now, GST actually has been implemented in many countries before also, and every country had faced some teething problem. So as what I feel is that we are also into the phase of teething problem. So with the implementation of GST, it has become a unified market. Though it had a negative effect immediately when it was introduced, but over a period of time, I am sure that it's going to have a positive effect. The government is going to collect more revenue on account of GST. And if you see now, the inflation, if you see recently, the inflation, that is the inflation of our economy, has also reduced. And India also is considered to be one of the fastest growing economy. So my take is that we should be able to see the positive effect of implementation of GST in the economy.
The political parties which are promising loan wavering, do you think this loan wavering will be beneficial for the farmers, or is it just used to attract people for forming a government?
As regard to loan waivers, as stated by the RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das, loan waivers will definitely affect the credit culture and the habits of the borrowers, and it is not going to be a permanent solution to decrease or reduce the distress of the farmers. Instead of that, government can think of certain options like supporting farmers with the help of the price or income schemes that would definitely help them to come out of the distress.
According to my view, I think so this loan waiver scheme which has been floated by, or which has been promised by so many political parties, it is only for the political gain. Why it is for political gain? Because when you talk about the loan waiver, out of the total number of farmers, around only 10 to 15% of the farmers may have taken loan from the institutional banks or any other financial institution. It is just 10 to 15% of them must have taken. So they are the ones who are going to be benefited if they waiver the loan. But the rest of around, if you talk about 85% of the farmers, they don't have any support through the institutional banks or financial institutions. So now, as what in the current budget, what they have announced, the direct transfer, where we have that 6,000 rupees which is going to be directly credited into the account of the farmers in 3 installments. Direct transfer is much better as compared to, because it goes to all the farmers. Though it is based on certain calculation of acres of land, but still many farmers, whosoever has the land records, gets the benefit of direct transfer scheme of the government.
Do you think the merging of nationalized banks will be helpful for our economic growth? Will it have any effect on employees?
Mergers of banks will definitely reduce the non-performing assets or the bad loans, I would say, and they will also create strong and globally competitive markets. So in view of this, the government of India for the first time is discussing a 3-tier merger between public sector banks, that is Dena Bank, Bank of Baroda and Vijaya Bank, which will come into force from April 2019. And this move by the government is definitely going to be a positive one, which will make this merger the second largest public sector bank and third largest lender, with a combined business of almost all 14.8 lakh crores. So definitely mergers of banks will help.
Now, when you talk about the consolidation of banks, according to the Narsimham Committee report 1991, that report already had suggested that we should consolidate bank, wherein we have 3 to 4 international banks, then 8 to 10 national level banks, and then we should have the smaller banks. So as per what I understand is, accordingly the government is proceeding towards the consolidation of commercial banks. Now, the agenda behind is, as far as what we know, is that when we have large banks, there is always some economies of scales which benefits the customer. Because of large scale economies, the operative cost for the banks will reduce. And if you see, when you talk about consolidation, SBI has been with some associate banks, 7 associate banks, now all of them have been consolidated into one. The listing of the SBI is below 50 in international ranking. So if you compare with the branch wise or their turnover, now SBI is one of the 50th bank in international listing. So when you talk about the challenges for the employees, there will be challenges for the employees because there is a possibility of layoffs. There can be issues on what I can say promotions, because all of the banks are becoming one, so there can be issues on promotions, and it might also increase the VRS among the bank employees. That is what is my take. But the consolidation is, I feel, better for the economy, because our economy is mainly banking based economy. So it is better to have strong banks as compared to more number of weak banks.
What are the economic reforms need to be taken by the upcoming Indian government?
There are 3 economic reforms what I would like to discuss. The first and foremost being called as the agricultural reforms. Need of the hour is that government should make appropriate agricultural reforms, especially to reduce the distress of the farmers and also improve the productivity. Actually, we don't have more value-added products in agricultural sector, towards which government should provide facilities of supply chain management, like providing transportation, storage facilities to the farmers, and also provide them support through income and the price schemes. This will definitely help the farmers. And second being called as keeping in view the defaulters, like the case of Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya, government needs to strengthen the existing insolvency bankruptcy code, which will definitely bring a positive change in the credit culture and business practices of corporate India. And lastly, I would say government should continue to make necessary reforms to curb the menace of black money. In this regard, the drive for Operation Clean Money, launched by the Income Tax Department in 2016, must be strengthened.
What among the three will you consider that will play a major role in elections? Manifesto, candidate, or the party?
So far, Indian party and its ideology is concerned, in the present context, no party is committed to their ideology. We don't have such constructive ideology in the parties, including the even Communist Party of India. Even Communist Party of India is following the principles of communism, joined with the Congress many times, and they formed even coalition government. The ideology of Congress and Communist Party of India is different. Absolutely different. One is a north, the other one is south. But still they join together to form the government. So all the parties, they have particular ideology, no doubt. But they have almost all similar ideology only. Because they are all branch of Indian National Congress only. So they are following same ideology only. So ideology is not an important aspect in Indian politics. Manifesto. Now, what political parties they are considering, we have to promise something. They are promising so many things in the manifesto. When they are functioning, that influence, that circumstance, the availability of resources, all it is matters there. It is not that what they mention in the manifesto, necessarily they will implement it. They may promise 100 things, but they have a little duration, that is 5 years. Within that, they have to fulfill it. So, manifesto also not important. Every party have a common manifesto only. If you see last election, 2014 election also, almost all the manifesto of Indian National Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party were same only. There is no difference. And I am sure also, in the next election also, there would be similar manifesto only. There would be 1-2 changes. It may be Article 370 and 1-2 more difference issue. Otherwise, manifesto is the same. So, next criteria is yours criteria is qualification or efficiency of the candidate. We should elect the effective representatives. Whether it is a qualification is matter or not does not matter here. Qualification may be, educational qualification may be there or may not be there with one person. But his efficiency to deliver the responsibility is important. He should have a spirit. If we are participating in the political process to cast our vote, at least we should consider some elements of the representatives. The first one, his historical background. What was his history? That is his personality. We should consider. Second one, whether that person is having any experience in the functioning as an administrator or as a representative at the local body level at least. That should be a very good criteria. We should not promote a candidate immediately to a higher post. We should see that how he have performed at the lower level as a sarpanch, as a chairman in Mandal Parishad, in Jilla Parishad, then whether he joined into national politics or state politics. So that he will have proper experience to take decisions for the whole nation. That should be a school for him to select the candidate. So that we can appoint some candidate who is having real experience in functioning the government. A new candidate, if he is coming directly, may have a skill, but we are not aware how he would function there after elections. And more important, we should have a element there in our election that of course it is required one amendment, and that is the recall system should be there. Suppose even by chance we are electing one candidate, one representative, and he is not performing according to the wishes of the people, he should be called back. That process should be introduced so that They will perform effectively and they would be accountable to the people's wishes. That recall process should be introduced in India, at least that one. Even if you are not following referendum or initiative methods, considering our illiteracy rate sometimes, we are neglecting it, but recalling, because once we are electing one representative means we are having capability to recall him back. If we have appointed somebody, we should have a right to terminate that body. That power should be given to the people so that the person will become effective and they will fix up the programs and they will deliver. So these things we should keep in mind. Experience of the person, personality of the person and his character relating to his history, family background should be considered.
I think the party history, because manifesto, they may or may not be able to achieve what they have said. Every manifesto will list lot of things, but that is just a promise. It is better to see their past record. What have they done so far and what is the type of people that they are putting into positions of power, isn't it? So sorry, I don't believe in this manifesto or the party itself. Even it's not that a certain party is good. Sometimes the same parties have been good, and in some other region the same party is not doing good. It is the past record of the people who are asking for our votes. We should look at that.
It's ultimately bogging down to not only these three issues, but what is mattering in the elections is money power, muscle power, and all extraneous factors also are impacting the elections. And India being a country with lot of illiterate people, the government schemes also will play a vital role along with manifesto, because illiterate people may not understand what the manifesto speaks except the SOPs given by the government. Among all of them, a strong manifesto with a promise to deliver the manifesto.
We see that the educated are not showing up to cast their vote, while the illiterate are easily manipulated by the political candidates and they are turning up in huge numbers. Don't you think that this is an unfair system and it's like a mockery of the election process?
Recently it is found even intellectuals, students and highly rich people, they are not participating in the elections. The reason is that they are considering their vote is not important. That's why they are not participating. We have adopted universal adult franchise in our constitution that everyone is eligible to cast their vote in the elections. And now this trend has developed that some people are not participating in the election. Instead of discussing that one, let us discuss the root problem, why they are not participating in the elections. Political rights is given. If somebody is not using it, not exercising it, why it is happening? Because they are considering their vote value is not important. That's why personally I suggested that there should be one recall process.
People who are educated, firstly they feel that they are a little bit skeptical or cynical. They feel that their vote is not going to matter, right? And they are the nota voters, which are the worst kind of voters in my mind. Is you're going and you're not telling who is better. I agree, all candidates may be bad, I agree that, but one of them is going to be elected, isn't it? So might as well choose one of the slightly better ones for whatever criteria you have and give that person a vote. If you do not put your vote, that means you are letting somebody else decide who is your candidate. So, and I have to say, when I talk to my students, I see they have no political views. I don't say they should have the same views that I have, but they should have awareness of the differences or the strengths of different parties. And if the youth is not interested, then then we are going to get people who are elected by those who could be made to vote by giving one biryani or liquor bottle. So that's really bad. I don't know why they don't vote. They should vote. So here, where's this? Look, I voted.
No, very bad, and I think it's highly objectionable that the literate people, educated people and working class, especially with white collar jobs, are not coming out to vote. And these are the people who take to Twitter, Facebook, etc. to criticize the policies of the government. When they are not voting, definitely they lose the right to question the government.
People should be first aware what are their primary or the fundamental duties towards the country. That is the first one. And in spite of being educated, most people in Telangana state, as per the articles what I have read, they prefer to stay at home because I think general public will have certain expectations from government. I think if these are not fulfilled, maybe the public are disinterested in going for voting.
Do you think Election Commission is fair enough? Because every candidate who loses in elections, they blame the Election Commission by saying that there was some kind of rigging.
India is a very largest democratic country of the world. So naturally there would be some events, manipulations would be there. But taking that one, we cannot take one assumptions that election is not fairly conducted. And I am sure personally it is functioning properly.
So it is the EVM, people don't like EVM, and if they knew a little bit of technology, see, our science education in schools is so inadequate that they don't understand what is the EVM. See, the EVM is not networked. There is no way a person sitting in one location can manage the EVM in the other location. So if you just know that, then you know that EVM can't be rigged. But there are people who are even IIT engineers like Arvind Kejriwal who will say EVMs mein ghotala hai, EVMs mein ghotala hai. So it is always easy to blame a machine or put some kind of conspiracy theory for the technology instead of admitting that your message did not motivate the people to vote for you. And you know, the Election Commission has, I remember last year or year before that, put an open challenge to all hackers to come and show how they will hack the EVM, right? So the Election Commission, I think this challenge is still there. Show how you will hack it, and no one takes up that challenge, and they are just saying like that. And so, you know, if they keep saying it and the papers keep allowing them to say it without challenging them, then general public also starts feeling, maybe the educated people feel, anyway my vote is not going to be counted. But I should say that this time when we voted in 2018 for the assembly elections, our EVM had that VPAT. So when I pressed some button, I saw the same symbol and name being printed on a little slip of paper. So now, and that slip was collected in some kind of a receptacle. There is no doubt that the EVM is fair.
Election Commission is very fair enough because earlier some political parties or some governments have introduced this EVM system, and the same people are now questioning the EVM system. And of course, a lot of discussion has happened, and it has been demonstrated to all the political parties about the invincibility of EVMs. And now the VVPAT system also helps in safeguarding the voting pattern and also protecting the confidentiality of the election system.
Do you have any suggestion that would result in betterment of the election process and further development of the nation?
So far election amendment is concerned, we have introduced one element there in the election process, that is nota, but it deeply we have to think about it, how it is effective. That's why we should adopt the recall method, what generally we are practicing in Switzerland, in US, in other countries. It should be adopted in India also. Number two, we should have one election in one country. One nation, one election.
I think the media's role is very important. The minute they see somebody putting up fake data or lying or saying nonsense stuff like EVM is hacked or GST is one-sided or Rafale deal was some kind of a scam there. If people make these claims, especially if politicians make this claim and the media just propagates them without questioning them, asking them for proof, then the media is guilty of a crime of misleading our voters. Biggest thing is, unless the media is responsible, right? Print media as well as TV, radio, unless they are responsible, we are going to have very ill-informed voters, and therefore our election will always be on some kind of a issue which is not real, isn't it? So there is a great need for what we can call fact-checking media or truthful media, and so that people have a source of reliable, authentic, correct information which will help them to make a decision based on what are their priorities. So first and foremost, we need good quality, accurate information. That will improve the election process. I think Election Commission can put some kind of some kind of a punishment for those politicians who are telling lies on the election dais. That unless that is curbed, they will keep on telling nonsense lies and people will believe it.
Maybe one strong suggestion, which of course many people may not like, is making voting mandatory. Recently during the assembly elections of Telangana, it was written in several newspapers. Many countries are punishing citizens who don't vote, or also cutting the subsidies and other facilities given to the citizens if they don't vote. That is the power of voting. So when you want a democratic government to be formed, many people should exercise their franchise. Otherwise, definitely it will have its own implications of being misused by the political parties.
No, అనుకుంటున్నాను బీజేపీ
will come to power, bro. Ante.
BJP will come to power.
Congress.
BJP will come to power.
BJP will come to power. I don't know.
Congress will come to the power.
Congress will come to the power.
BJP win అవుతుంది.
ఐడియా రావట్లేదు దండమని ఏమని చెప్తారు ఏమో ప్రస్తుతానికి ఇక్కడ అయితే కేసీఆర్ నడుస్తుంది. నేషనల్ కూడా కేసీఆర్ నడుస్తుందా? నేషనల్లో కొంచెం డౌటే, కాంగ్రెస్ రావచ్చు అని అనుకుంటున్నాను.
I have no idea, but I hope BJP wins. Yeah.
I also want BJP to win.
But there is an issue between that Rafale deal, so that will create a trouble, I think so.
So which party do you want to?
I want to like BJP, but Congress is also having chance. Congress.
Yeah.
BJP. Congress.
BJP.
No idea.
BJP.
Congress. No idea.
Hey, manager. I think BJP should win.
I think BJP should win.
I feel Congress would win because BJP को उतना सपोर्ट नहीं है, because BJP started doing with other countries, तो लोगों को पता नहीं है कि अंदर क्या किए बोल के, तो कांग्रेस जीतने के चांसेस बहुत है.
I suppose BJP because when you see other parties, they don't have a good contender for PM. Like if you consider Congress, they have Rahul Gandhi, and I hope all of you would consider Modi better than Rahul Gandhi. And when we look at the work, BJP has done better than Congress, so I hope BJP win.
These are the different opinions and perspectives of the lecturers and students of Bhavan. Now keeping apart who is going to win, who with what majority, as many news channels and surveys are letting this information out, we are not going to discuss anything further related to it. As a citizen of India, our criteria before we cast our vote is the fundamental thing. In India, political parties are identified as their party leaders, religion, region, language, etc. So we need to understand that political party is not a single person, but it's an accumulation of representatives who are the MPs. These MPs are chosen by us, who are elected by us, who finally becomes the lawmakers in the parliament. This shows we indirectly take part in the legislature by sending efficient representative who makes effective laws. This representative who are the MPs need to be a Prime Minister candidate from our constituency. So we need to send 543 Prime Minister candidates from their respective constituencies, and later let they themselves decide who among them the Prime Minister will be. So we need to think twice before we cast our vote, making sure that every MP we choose has Prime Minister qualities. In order to make India a better place for us to live, one should vote beyond money, threat, liquor and other benefits, because voting is not our duty, it's our privilege. Thank you. Hope you all think of this. Signing off, Shashikant.